Despite media reports to the contrary, the Holy See is denying that a Vatican accord with China regarding bishops will be signed this month. The Vatican press office tells EWTN News the dialogue between the Holy See and the People's Republic of China continues. There is nothing else to add at the moment. Vatican correspondent Juliet Lindley joins us from Rome. Juliet, reports on this possible deal seem more insistent than they were before. What are Vatican observers saying about what a deal could look like?
Lauren, the main sticking point of any deal with Beijing has long been who has the ultimate say in the appointment of bishops. Now, Beijing seemed to be demanding veto power over the Pope's choices of bishops. Now, that's something that's unacceptable, as we know, for the Church. Now it would appear that negotiations have led to an agreement that the Holy Father would have the final say on appointments after all. But according to Asia News, and that's a news site that has its finger on the Catholic pulse in China, there are strong doubts that deal or no deal, the communists will give up on their demand to control the Church and its bishops. Now, last month, Beijing's most senior official for religion wrote, "Religious matters in China can't be controlled by foreigners." The fear is, for example, that were the Pope to block a potential bishop's appointment, the Chinese could react by rescinding the entire accord or increasing persecution of the faithful. Now, as we know, there are 12 million Catholics in China out of a total population of 1.4 billion, Lauren, and about half of those 12 million are faithful to Rome. The others belong to the Beijing-controlled, led patriotic church.
Well, one critical issue is whether a deal would include papal recognition of several of those illegitimate bishops who are supported by the communist government. Do you think the Holy See, or what are people saying, would they agree to that?
Lauren, it would appear the Vatican is keen for this to happen in order to avoid the ongoing ordination of bishops that aren't approved by Rome. The Jesuit publication America is reporting this decision was apparently communicated just a few weeks ago, and the magazine says we're looking at a provisional accord that would be revisited in some years. And while the Holy See recognizes this isn't a good agreement, it's the only one possible at the moment. Asia News says Beijing is taking advantage of this alleged desire of the Pope's for an agreement, and that it could push for other bishops to be approved whose loyalties aren't to Rome but are still to Beijing.
Persecution of Catholics continues to persist in China despite these ongoing talks. And if a deal is imminent, will there be an easing of the persecution of Catholics?
Well, there are restrictions on religious education for children, and Beijing tries to control the administration of churches, of Catholic churches. So while the foreign ministry might be pushing to repair relations with the Vatican, as we remember, they were cut off in 1951, the body overseeing religious affairs is against the deal, apparently, and critics of the agreement fear the Vatican is playing into the hands of Beijing by wanting a deal at any cost. Supporters of an accord say, however, evangelization is the key, Lauren, and with 1.4 billion souls to be saved, that has to be the Church's primary focus.
Juliet Lindley, EWTN News Nightly Vatican correspondent, thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.